Welcome to America's podcast. I'm super excited to release this episode because I know this will be the most shared and loved episode. We are in the middle of a CBD bubble. It's trendy right now, and there's a lot of BS out there and a lot of misinformation around it. And we are here to set it straight. We are sitting down today with Brenden, the owner of Cruz Medicinals, and we talk everything CBD. Everything from what is CBD to dosage to legitimacy, to the favorite products there. We even get into a little bit about mixed martial arts and cannabis, and honestly, so much more. I'm really excited to share this episode with y'all. Please share it to your friends. CBD is a very trendy thing right now, but it also can be a legitimate medicine, and we need to treat it as such. Please share, subscribe, rate. And without further ado, here's Brenden from Cruz Medicinals. So this morning on the podcast, America's podcast, we have Brenden, the owner of Cruz Medicinals. How you doing, buddy? I'm super glad to have you on, man.
Doing well. I'm glad we finally made this happen.
Same.
Hell yeah.
Long time in the making.
Yep.
You know.
It's a perfect time too because honestly, like you said before this, it's a CBD bubble. Everything has CBD in it, and a lot of people don't know that there's good CBD and there's bad CBD. Well, not necessarily bad CBD, but false CBD.
There's bad CBD, in
Okay.
my opinion. So I agree with you 100%. CBD is at what appears to be its apex of just blowing up. It's everywhere. New York Times, Time Magazine, you name it. Everyone's heard of CBD at this point. But I think a lot of people don't understand the actual science behind it or have ever looked at the research that's been done on humans and dosage.
Okay.
And that's the main thing that our company addresses is dosage.
That's huge because a lot of people don't know what a recommended dose is. Honestly, I don't personally know what a recommended dose is. And what would you go for? Let's go down that rabbit hole.
So a lot of companies have written their own articles, and it's just complete bullshit. They're using petri dish studies. They're using information that just has no application to actual human biology.
Wow, no validity at all.
A 5 milligram dose does nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking hemp-derived CBD right now.
Yeah.
Because when we get into full-spectrum cannabis CBD, it is different. When it's combined with other cannabinoids, there's a lot of research there that it can act differently if it's CBD, CBV, CBG, THCA, THCV. It's a little less research for obvious reasons.
And the dosage would be different for those two.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The dosage would be different. And I don't think right now anybody can speak accurately on the dosage of something like that.
Okay. On the full spec side.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's kind of just like their marketing at this point.
Yeah. And so most hemp CBD companies are putting out stuff that's 100 milligram oral dose, 200 milligram, and I'm talking the whole tincture. Why we started this company is because we were running an edible company in Prop 215 called Aloha Edibles. You might have heard of us.
Okay.
Potent peanut butter, potent coconut, 500 milligram THC, just THC.
Okay. And
it was going really well. And then when Prop 64 hit, we were like, should we? As you guys know, it costs a lot of money to run a cannabis company. We looked at the hemp space, and we saw a lot of issues with these products. I use CBD. I dabbled in it before I started a company. I would take it every day. I'd buy different capsules and stuff. There'd be some times when I would feel it, sometimes when I wouldn't. So I decided to read some of the research. And I got a degree in medical anthropology from UC Santa Cruz.
Fuck yeah.
And what it allowed me to do is I can read a PubMed study and get a good idea of what it's saying. I'm not a scientist. There's many people smarter than me that I kind of rely on. But
you can process that information. A lot of people can't. It's a lot of, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little scary when you look at one of those studies. But when you kind of break it down, you can get a lot of information out of there.
Gotcha.
And what most of the research on human beings is showing is that you need a 5 to 25 milligram per kilogram of body weight dose. Okay. So when you're talking 170 to 200 pound human being.
So I'm 180, so I think I'm like around 80, 82 kilos.
So you're talking 300 to 600 milligrams.
Wow. I had no idea it was that much.
And so I just started to experiment on myself. And I would give it to my friends, and my co-founder Joe and I were just taking it, and we noticed huge differences. Damn. What I do want to see,
like in how you were feeling, or what?
Yeah, you know when people talk about CBD, right? And they're like, hey, like oh my God, you take this, you feel relaxed, your inflammation goes down. I wouldn't get that with other products I was taking. And I'm pretty aware of my body, and I was just like, okay, what's going on here? But then I would dose with other stuff, maybe go buy some isolate from Kind Peoples in Santa Cruz before I had my own products, and I would dose high, and I'd be like, okay, there's really something to this. So then we started looking at what would it take to make a company that does these high dosages? Why aren't companies doing them, or if they're doing them, why are they not doing them affordably? And we used our good connections within the cannabis industry. We used our knowledge, and we decided to run this company, and we run it, honestly, how we do it is we run it super lean. Joe and I both have full-time jobs within the cannabis industry. We're simply making less profit.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies are just greedy.
Yeah.
And it allows us to price something like a 10,000 milligram CBD infused MCT oil for $185.
Yeah, you don't see that, honestly. I mean, you find, I don't know, 500 milligram dosage, and it's around $80 or whatnot. So that's, y'all are killing it for sure. And it's really nice to hear that you have an organic following behind you, because look, you could do it the wrong way, the quick way, and get a quick buck, correct?
Absolutely.
But you're based upon, this is a medicine. People need this for a certain dosage. You really care about the consumer.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people out there that don't mind spending some money on a product that's going to work.
Yeah.
So we make a 20,000 milligram MCT oil, and it's $290. It's not cheap. But
that'll last a while.
Yeah, you can dose every day. You can get a 200 milligram dose in the morning, 200 milligrams at night. That's your 400 milligrams right there. And it works.
Wow.
And also we use a bunch of healthy fats that help CBD absorb.
Okay.
There's been a lot of evidence on that. So we have infused coconut oil, infused olive oil, infused MCT oil. Our pain cream is made with, you know, stuff like cocoa butter and beeswax and other stuff that's going to make it more bioavailable.
Gotcha. That's smart. So the lipid helps bind the CBD and the other molecules as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so what have you seen over the past year, let's say, as people's favorite product? Like, what are they most receptive to? What are you hearing?
So our first foray into the CBD world was our infused coconut oil, and that just boomed off. I mean, coconut oil is a pantry staple for a lot of people, who are, you know, health inclined, right?
It's the new kale.
Yeah, we've a lot of us have gotten past that coconut oil is the devil, and that it's going to be a bad fat, and people have gotten past that. A lot of people, and so that's a really good multi-use product. We saw people just doing all sorts of cool stuff with it, making sugar scrubs for exfoliation, and making their own salves and topicals, cooking with it. And obviously just adding it to like their bulletproof coffee in the morning, which has really been the craze. And that's where we made the CBD infused MCT oil, because everybody's adding MCT oil to coffee. I drink bulletproof coffee in the morning, or whatever you want to call it, a fat infused coffee.
Right.
And the combination of CBD and caffeine is something I'm fascinated. It just fascinates me.
Explain.
Yeah,
so when we drink coffee, basically we have adenosine, which makes you feel calm. And a lot of people don't know that adenosine makes you feel calm because they hear ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy production of our cells. But adenosine actually in its sole form provides a calming feeling. And so caffeine binds with adenosine receptors, and that'll make you feel more jittery sometimes, more adrenaline, which can be useful. Sometimes you need that cup of coffee, you want that little adrenaline. But a lot of people, what they want and crave, I've found in this stressful world, is sort of a clean energy, right? And that's why the bulletproof coffee became so popular. You have that coffee in the morning, you feel a little less jitters because the fat.
Right.
So with CBD blended in, CBD can actually block some of that conversion right there. Okay. So for the jitters, correct? Absolutely. Okay. So when you dose with CBD in your coffee, you're going to feel a beautiful, clean energy if you obtain the proper dose, that is. And it's amazing. And I think a lot of people felt that, and that they can go, hey, I can get my dose of CBD. I can take advantage of all these anti-inflammatory benefits I've been reading about, and I can feel great. It's a win-win, and it's affordable.
Wow. That's awesome. So I've always wondered, the MCT, what's the benefits of that versus like the coconut oil or whatnot? I don't know much about what it's medium triglyceride.
Yeah, medium chain triglyceride oil is what MCT oil is. Essentially, they take coconut oil, they put it in a centrifuge, they spin it, and they remove the most beneficial layers, which are the C8 and C10 layers of coconut oil. Okay. It's then in a liquid form, and it doesn't have to get processed by the liver in order to be used. So it can go straight to brain function. And it's just a really clean source of energy for the body. They use it in a bunch of stuff. They use it in diabetes treatment, stabilize blood sugar. It's a very research fat. It is not something you'd want to use a lot of if you're not used to it. Okay. So that's why we have a nice like milliliter.
Why is that?
If you're not eating a high fat diet on a regular, and you're not like eating maybe paleo or kind of keto, and then you suddenly dose a lot of fats, your stomach might not know what's going on. Okay. So you just ease into it. We recommend people just do an ml, just 1 ml, just one dropper full, and then that's very little. Okay. And then they just kind of dose up from there, and they'll be fine. Anybody can kind of absorb MCT, and their stomach will be fine with it.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because I haven't even tried any MCT oil at all, and I know that's a big craze with the bulletproof coffee and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So is the term bulletproof coffee, is that just coffee with a fat like coconut oil, butter,
I think
whatever?
That's the brand, isn't it?
Yeah, so that is the brand, and
okay.
But they did it first, so that's kind of why.
There's another guy who did it first. Rob Wolf is kind of accredited with doing it first, who's a paleo guy. I mean, people have been putting fats into tea and coffee for a long time, but hey, you got to give it up to Dave Asprey. He branded that thing and made it a craze, and so a lot of people hate on him, and I understand it, but you got to give it up to him. He branded that thing. It's a popular name, so
hell yeah.
I always say, for lack of a better word, bulletproof coffee, which is grass-fed butter, some other type of fat, coconut oil or MCT oil, or all of them if you want to go wild, blended into black coffee. Okay. You can put a little stevia in there, some sea salt, some cinnamon. I put a grass-fed collagen in there as well, which is excellent for the body, and that's what I drink every single morning. Wow. Pretty much, yeah. When I'm at home, when I'm in my routine, every morning I'm doing that.
Fuck yeah. So that's MCT, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, black coffee, and then a little sweetener. Yep,
and you gotta blend it. If you try stirring it up, it's not delicious. When you blend it, it creates that nice
little hand frother action.
Yeah, you can use a hand frother. Yeah,
okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's delicious.
Damn, that sounds good.
So I know, like, when Austin and I kind of had one of our more epiphany experiences with CBD was when we rolled it. We had like CBD concentrate that we rolled into a snake and then put inside of a flower joint.
Oh yeah.
I remember smoking it and being like, wow, I feel like I just had a full body massage. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably because it was a large dosage, and smoking CBD has become really popular. Like, anything you can share with us about you guys going down that route?
Yeah, so we had a vape pen, and we're going to re-release a vape pen. The only reason we don't have it on our website is because of the whole payment processor thing with CBD. So we'll just touch on that for a second. So in order to sell CBD online, it's still considered what's in the e-commerce world called a high risk. Okay. And this is with a lot of things everybody consumes. Tobacco, a lot of alcohol companies, the smaller ones have to use a high-risk merchant account. So you basically cannot use some of the major card processors. So you're kind of at the whim of these smaller companies, and they can say, hey, we don't want you to sell vape pens. We think they're a little too high risk. And what they mean by high risk isn't that they're dangerous. They just mean that it's an industry where people might do chargebacks to a credit card. Yeah, it's
interesting.
Tobacco, porn. The porn industry has to use high-risk merchant accounts. Gambling, sports gambling.
It's a high risk for the credit card companies to be, quote, trusting the buyer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's not a high risk for you, you know. Right. Consume all the porn you want. I don't think it's... maybe it could be risky.
Mentally, yeah. So, might get a little sore, but...
Yeah, exactly. But, so that's why we don't have the vape pens right now. But we're selling a vape pen, and when you vaporize CBD, it goes into a whole different process in the body, and you feel it way faster. Yeah, and there honestly isn't too much great research on orally active CBD versus vaping it. Okay. There just isn't too, and there's going to be more and more research in the next decade. I'm really excited. There's CBD studies coming out all the time. There's just a recent one on opioid use and CBD, getting people off opioids with doses of CBD.
That's awesome. So
but smoking CBD, dabbing CBD provides an immediate effect, and I do think you need a lower dose in order to achieve that. Okay. As far as total body anti-inflammation through it, I'm not sure. Okay. I would think long, kind of daily potent doses would be the way to do it. Okay. But if you are somebody who's maybe stressed or anxious and you dab some CBD, I know Blue River Terps in California makes like some beautiful they're expensive, but beautiful CBD extracts, like full spectrum. And Raw Garden has like a 1-to-1 sauce card out there that's, and I love those. I absolutely love those. But again, not available for everybody.
Right.
We get DMs all the time, people being like, what do you think I should do? I'm feeling this. I'm like, if you can get your hands on some THC and you react to it well, please do.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't, or they can only get their hands on a little, and they're not going to be able to get a CBD product from a dispensary. So buy our CBD, find some cannabis, and combine the two, and I think you'll like the results.
Heck yeah. I was going to ask you about your vape, because I'm sure there's got to be on the market, there's got to be good and bad CBD vapes. What's going to make yours better than others? I know you already have, you're forward thinking with that. So what have you done, I guess, ingenuity-wise for the vape that you're producing?
Yeah, so the main thing that we're going to be looking at with our new one, and we looked at with our old one, was cutting agents. We don't want PG. We don't want people do.
And
cut
what
it
are
with
these
MCT.
things?
Yeah,
What's
what's
PG?
So when you just have the raw CBD oil, if you put that thing into a cartridge and try to vape it, it's going to get all gunked up. It's not going to burn well.
Okay.
So companies use cutting agents, and some are safe, some are not. So it's just about finding a really good cutting agent. The word cutting agent sounds kind of scary, but
It does.
like
That's kind of with all vapes. Like,
yep.
it's hard for the cartridges to work. I mean, I've seen that
Exactly.
as a consistent problem. I mean, they're getting better, but still not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can use different terpene ratios to cut it, and so we have a team that's going to work on that and find the safest possible cutting agent, or if we find something without a cutting agent, but we're not going to use propylene glycol. We're not going to use MCT, although MCT is the most dangerous thing in the world. Inhaling it,
I've heard, isn't the
I
best.
don't know if that's the
yeah.
best thing. So that's the way we'd go with it. But and then with our orally active products, we send them to SC Labs. We just got our lab result back yesterday for our 20,000 milligram MCT oil. We tested it for pesticides, pesticide free.
Let's talk about the importance of lab testing. That's a huge deal. Even with hemp-derived CBD, it's a very, very big deal. Legitimacy. Yep. People don't, like we stated in the beginning of this episode, good versus bad CBD. And what makes an extremely good CBD is lab tested, knowing what you're actually getting.
Well, and what lab too sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we started this company, Joe and I, as I said, both work in the cannabis industry, and to sell a cannabis product into the legal market in California, it has to be lab tested by an accredited cannabis lab in California. We have a good relationship with SC Labs just because we've sent cannabis products to them for years. They're one of the best. I know you guys have spoken about them, I'm sure.
Yep.
So when you send a product to SC Labs, they're doing a full panel of, they're going to test how much all the cannabinoids are in there. They do a full cannabinoid profile, and they do a full pesticide profile for us. And that came back clean. Our CBD infused MCT oil tested, our 5,000 milligram tested at 5,200 milligrams. Our 20,000 milligram tested in at 19,900.
Wow.
So
Nice.
a little bump, but we're within 1%. So,
Nice.
it's all good. And pesticide free, which is super important.
That's really good, because honestly, there was a study recently that came out that there's researchers that bought 84 CBD products. I think a third of them had enough THC to test positive on a piss test, and then 1 in every 5 didn't have as much CBD as they stated. So it's bad, out there. So that's extremely important. For the consumer to know that they can't just go in a smoke shop and get CBD or online or whatever. That's not legit. If the company is pushing the test to you, then most likely it's a good company. But if they're not, they're hiding it.
If they're not revealing
it, no bueno. I would not, nope, not at all.
It's all bad. And, lab testing is expensive.
It is. Good CBD is expensive.
Absolutely.
It's hard to extract.
You have to trust a company that's going to spend the money getting their products lab tested.
100%.
Do I think they need to do batch testing in every single week like
not.
California? I think California in the Prop 64 world has gone a little overboard, but hey, if you're not lab testing your CBD, how do I know what's in there?
Exactly.
You're going to say that you have 5,000 milligrams of CBD. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, show me the lab results.
Yeah.
How do I know what I'm taking?
100%.
This is important stuff. So yeah, it's critical.
I know another huge thing that we were just chit-chatting before this was the whole Nano Technology subject. Talk to us a little bit about that. Explain what it is. And
I haven't seen any evidence that the nano CBD, whether it's nano CBD water, nano emulsion, we got some samples of some nano CBD sent to us from a company. I didn't feel any effect. It's basically saying that you can use smaller doses to achieve
more efficiently.
More efficiently, and they can absorb more.
Because isn't that process that they put it through basically like shrinking or breaking down the molecules so that they're like physically smaller, so that they're able to get into your system faster,
more bioavailable
or something?
Yeah, and I just think
I think it's a trendy word.
Yeah.
I think it's a trendy word. Hey, if some really solid research comes out about it in 10 years, then I'll bite my tongue and look into it. But I just don't.
You think people should be a little weary of that?
Yeah,
then?
a little weary.
Yep.
You know what's a great business model is putting 5 milligrams of CBD into water and saying that it's a nano emulsion that's going to absorb way better, and you're going to get a dose like 200 milligrams, and then selling that water for $5.
Wow.
Sounds fun, but I just can't
It's
ethically
crazy.
do that.
Yeah, wow.
People do that, by the way. What Brenden is saying is freaking true, and it's sad. So those tests, like we said again and again and again, the CBD bubble we're in, make sure your products are legit.
Absolutely.
Santa Cruz Medicinals products are legit. They're online, available online, which is a beautiful thing.
Yep, scmedicinals.com. Check out our Instagram, Santa Cruz Medicinals. And yeah, we ship all across the United States, fast shipping.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's just important, you know. But the main thing is we don't really make that much money from this company. That's not our intention here.
Wow.
We're trying to provide good products for people and then expand from there.
That's a beautiful thing. That really is. That's inspiring.
Well,
I love hearing
and
that.
like for the people, your CBD coconut oil was one of the first like cannabis, I guess you could say, products or hemp products that my mom has tried.
Wow.
Nice.
And I mean, I grew up and she was not a fan.
It was the first product.
Yeah,
she
and
tried.
so like she's opening up to it. So I would strongly suggest like people that are trying to get into cannabis to like try CBD
this
first.
is a great way to introduce. Yeah. How would you introduce maybe an older person into your line of products?
Absolutely. So our products are the best thing to get somebody introduced. They have no THC whatsoever, 0% THC. And so they're not going to get high at all. I like kind of phasing THC in. I'm just a little more gung-ho on THC. I'm a fan of THC. But you obviously can't do that for a first-time user. You want to just get them exposed to the plant.
Yep.
So we have products like our clay mask that's in front of us that are excellent first time. You're not even consuming anything. Who doesn't like to do a nice clay mask for a spa day?
Never done one.
You know, come on.
I know, man. I know. I need to step it up.
Yeah,
He
man.
just makes fun of me when I have them on.
See, my girlfriend got me into them.
Nice.
You know, this is one of her like pet projects.
Yeah,
the clay
yeah.
mask. So something like that, or we make a pain cream, and yeah, you rub some of that pain cream in to a painful area, sore area. That's the most innocuous thing. You're not gonna have any psychoactive effect. They don't feel like they're taking something into their body that they might have a placebo. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. So it's such a good intro product, and you can do a lot of fun things with our products. You can cook something with the coconut oil, with our CBD infused olive oil or MCT oil. You can make a salad dressing or any other dish, and you could kind of have your mom eat some salad and be like, hey, that was CBD infused.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow, that's cool.
It could go poorly though with some people out there, so just
Well, and so I've
careful.
seen some people even using your products for their pets.
absolutely. So we are releasing a pet product now,
Cool.
but our coconut oil is a pet.
Yeah.
Coconut oil is a universal fat. Cats can eat it. Dogs can eat it. It's very good for dogs. Look at our dog right there. He's asleep.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
Mad
That
chilling.
dog takes CBD often. So
Nice.
dinner time with him, we'll put a scoop of CBD infused coconut oil with the proper dose for him on top of his food, and he eats it right up.
What do you?
It helps a lot of dogs probably with issues too, like cancer and hip dysplasia and anxiety.
Yeah, separation anxiety, thunderstorms, all that.
You can even rub it on them, I bet, if they have like a scratch
achy,
or something. Or
elbow or whatever. Yeah. What would be the proper dosage for dogs? What have you seen?
So he right there weighs about 50 pounds. So we like to give him 100 milligrams sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking
Yeah,
at
he's
him
like
passed
asleep.
out,
He's
like,
chilling. Yeah.
Now, for dosing humans and dogs alike, would you recommend morning, night? What do you like? What do you see?
I've been loving that morning dose with coffee just due to a lot of the, there's some hard research on what CBD does and interacts with caffeine and some of those kind of excitatory neurotransmitters. Now it kind of blunts those. It's not going to make you sleepy especially when dosed with caffeine. I love the morning dose. I usually dose in the morning. I'm getting about 200 to 300 milligrams. And then at night, I like to do 100 to 200 milligrams. Okay. And lately, I've been stirring it or blending it into a chamomile tea. That's my go-to for sleep. Wow. It's delicious. And we are coming out with a sleep formula. So I do have some of that laying around sometimes.
Nice.
It's still in kind of testing mode. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of CBD around, luckily. I'm in a kind of weird situation, but yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, good problem to have. And our sleep formula is going to be amazing. We've been delving into the capsule formulations to kind of provide people with a daily dose with other compounds that I use for biohacking, for lack of a better term, that have been tremendous. We have a CBD infused nootropic. Which is nootropic is a supplement that enhances cognitive function, supports your brain, memory, and learning.
Let's talk about that. What specific molecules do you have in there?
So that one. So this was a long process to develop. What I did is I bought 60 different nootropics.
Wow.
Okay?
From where? Like GNC?
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, online, everything. Online. You know, but yeah, like GNC. A lot of them, the most popular ones. Some of them I had to just stay straight up away from because they're like horrible ingredients.
Yeah.
But you know, Alpha Brain is one that I like. So we bought a bunch of different nootropics. Took them, gave some to my friends. Most of them are caffeine based. Okay, so they have caffeine in them or green tea extract, and that's kind of what they're claiming is what makes a good nootropic. Again, what I think where most people are at is they're a little stressed out and anxious, and that's taking them away from clean mental clarity and focus. I don't think a lot of people are in the morning are like, shit, I need more energy, or like, oh, let's go. Like, they can get that through a cup of coffee if they want. I think a lot of people need to calm down and harness that kind of clean creative energy. So we took some ingredients that I love, like 5-HTP. Okay. Not too big of a dose. Again, you don't want a big dose of 5-HTP. It's gonna overload your serotonin receptors. You don't want that. So we went with a little bit of 5-HTP, 5 milligrams per capsule, 10 milligrams per serving. And then we have alpha GPC, CDP choline, and then forskolin and artichoke extract, which have been heavily researched to benefit the brain and cognition. And that combination with 50 milligrams of CBD per serving. Okay. You take some of those and you're going to have this, I mean, it gives you just a clean, calm energy. Great for stress, great for anxiety for me. And it's just one of those things, you know, you drive home in 5 p.m. traffic in the Bay Area. I'm taking some of my peppermint tincture. I'm taking a few of my nootropics, and I feel a lot better.
Wow. Can we talk about nootropics and possibly rolling MMA? Do you ever do that beforehand? And CBD?
Absolutely.
I know that's big in the martial arts world. Rolling around.
I have my whole jiu-jitsu gym on my products, obviously. You know,
Where do you train at?
So I train with Benji Silva. He has a gym in Palo Alto called True Movement.
Damn.
B Silva Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram. And great coach, and basically pay him in CBD. You know?
That's freaking cool,
dude. So my kind of pre-training thing is extensive, but I do use our nootropic currently for pre-training. That is my go-to for that. Again, there's kind of a myth that CBD is going to knock you out and put you to sleep.
A lot of people think that, or they use it for sleep.
Yep, and it does enhance sleep. There's so many people that buy our stuff and they have the Oura Ring tracker.
Yep.
And they'll dose with 400 milligrams or something before bed, and every single time they get more deep sleep, they get more REM sleep. It's just, but again, you want to kind of use some of those other compounds that are going to help you go to sleep. Because at the end of the day, this is your endocannabinoid system. It's a regulator in the body.
Homeostasis.
Exactly. So when you're functioning properly, what is a properly functioning human being? They're going to have energy in the morning, and they're going to want to go to sleep at night. There's many other things that we can do to feed that endocannabinoid system. There's exercise. There's polyphenols from food and antioxidants. And there's cannabis. Cannabis is one of the most potent endocannabinoid. It feeds it. So it's going to just make you, in my opinion, just make you feel better overall. I don't do really high doses before I train. I do a high dose of CBD after I train.
Okay.
For me, it just brings the inflammation down. I'm usually a little beat up.
Cannabis in the rolling community, the MMA community, is huge. And it has been huge for a long time. Like it hasn't really even been undercover either. Yeah. Like people, high rollers, I'm sure you've heard of them.
High rollers, jiu-jitsu. Yep. The jiu-jitsu tournaments with my coach actually competed in that.
That's pretty
Wow.
cool. Wow. Yeah,
Smoke,
you
yeah.
have to like smoke before you roll. It's pretty cool.
Well, I was gonna say, so what about like THC in that industry? Austin and I have talked a lot about like cannabis and athletes and stuff. Like, are they really allowed? Do you know to like?
So
Or is that just like an
they,
underground thing?
They are and they aren't. There have been MMA fighters who have been suspended for years from cannabis, popping out
Crazy.
from cannabis. But now recently it's getting way more friendly. I have friends that fight in the UFC and they'll get tested and they're openly using cannabis, and lately you're
It's all
good to go. You
good.
can be
Cool.
sponsored by a cannabis company. I just believe you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can't test hot for it while you are fighting. Like, you can't be high while you're fighting.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Because they could, if it's a pain modulator,
They
then
could-
you could say it's a
Yep.
performance-enhancing drug,
That's fair.
right? Yeah. So that's what they do there. But
But after you lighten up.
exactly,
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
With your belt, you know what I'm saying? Hell
yeah. And a lot of them. So then we can get into the advertising part of it, because
Yeah.
a lot of fighters are sponsored by cannabis companies
Hmm.
and CBD companies, and the reason for that is Google AdWords, Facebook, Instagram, any other advertising channel does not allow cannabis ads.
Crazy.
They don't. They'll take them down and block them and say that it's promoting dangerous or illegal content.
Or
Right.
sale of illegal drugs.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So it's just sad. We're being limited to.
By the big tech companies too. Like, you
Yep.
know, they be smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, they have their hand. I mean, Apple has had a patent for a vape for 6 years, I think now. I mean, they as soon as it becomes federally legal or they're shining light, they can shine through. They're gonna fucking
Yeah.
jump on that.
Exactly. And they're just waiting on that federal legalization.
They're trying to hold everybody else out right
100%.
now. You're
And
right.
a lot of
Wow.
it goes back to banking, and I think that's why I think cannabis banking laws, that's going to be the most pivotal thing for this industry. If we really want to step up and become a big industry, both CBD and cannabis, the banking laws need to improve. That's what's holding everything back. A lot of these companies aren't anti-cannabis, they're anti doing something federally illegal with their money.
Correct.
Or getting their bank shut down, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, you're accepting advertising for an illegal substance.
Yeah, that doesn't look
You
good in
can't
your
do
company.
that.
Yeah.
So, we need to get that cleared up, because I want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on advertising.
Right. It would
Right.
only boost your company big time, obviously. But yeah, that's sad. Damn. So you
So
have to.
what can people do, like, if they like your products and they do want to promote them? Like, what's the best way for people to talk about it?
Instagram is amazing. It has been amazing for us. We use a lot of influencer marketing, and our customers are our own influencers a lot of the times. They'll post their stuff, they'll tell a friend.
That's
Really,
cool.
that grassroots marketing has been so helpful for us. We get tons of reorders because our products are high quality, but mainly when people just tell somebody in their family, that
That's the
helps.
best
That
way.
helps. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Cool.
just buy it, tell a friend. And that's what I tell people. If
Yeah.
you like it, tell a friend.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. That brings up my question. What has been your return on investment for like social media, advertising, influencers, what have you? It's-
So we spend thousands and thousands of dollars a month on influencer marketing and content creation. So we pay some really good videographers to create awesome content for us, and they make good money doing that. And then we pay health influencers. So we'll reach out to a health influencer or a food influencer or whatever you want to call it. And it's a weird world, right? Some are very business oriented, and they just, hey, here are my rates for a post. You send me anything, I post it. We don't like those too much. What we like is people who respond like this. They go, hey, send me out a product or two on us. We'll send it for free. If I like it, and that's what we said in the message. Hey, we want to send you some of these products. If you like it, let's discuss what we can do to get a post on your page. And it's a paid post, 100%. And the rates are all over the place. That's something that I have to navigate. Some people with 50,000 followers will say they want $2,000, which is way over. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And then you have to look at their engagement on Instagram. Did they just go on a website and buy 25K followers?
Right.
And
They have 20 likes for a $50,000 or 50,000 follower page. Yeah.
And that's all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, you have 3 comments and you have 100,000 followers. I'm good.
Yeah. Believe me, we see cannabis podcasts all the
Wow.
time with paid fucking followers. It's okay. It's the organic way is the way to do it. And
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, both of us, the grassroots fucking, genuine way of doing it is going to win.
Well, and that's probably why you do see a good return on investment, is because you're working with those people that they like the product and they believe in it.
Yeah, and so this is a common thing in influencer marketing. You'll get a larger response sometimes with somebody with 6,000 followers than somebody with 50,000 followers.
100%.
We have a guy, Chef Brenden Allen, you can look up on Instagram, and he's a CBD expert. He has a hemp farm out there in Pennsylvania that he's developing. Cool. He's a chef, but he's just so dialed in, and his whole page was him ragging, because he knows the research really well. So he would just rag on CBD companies and joke about it, like, oh, your 10 milligram dose, like, and then we did not reach out to him or pay him anything. We never have. He found our products and was like, hey, this is you're the only people I've seen doing a 20,000 milligram CT oil. Do you have lab tests for this? Yes, here's lab tests. My God, he gets one, and then he's just kind of doing these videos with it. Like, this is the only company out there that's doing this. This is what his back went out a few days ago, and he's like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a 75 milligram dose just throughout the day. Boom, 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 until I achieve, 500 milligrams. He reported back on that, and we get tons of purchases from that because people trust this guy.
Yeah.
If you have that trust, then people are going to buy your products, So, yeah, that's been tremendous for us, and it's what we have to do because we cannot do an Instagram ad.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
which is honestly, like, it's funny because these corporations are trying to hold us out by not allowing us to do that, but it is giving us the chance to grow organically.
Yep.
And it's like, in the long run, we're going to win, people, because you're trying to block us out, but we're doing it the right way.
Absolutely. And the one thing I always feel is I'm trying to help the American economy, and I think a lot of cannabis companies are, and they are helping the American economy. So I think the United States needs to take a step back and go, hey, we need to open up banking. I think federal legalization is not too far away. It needs to happen quicker. It's like a lot of these states are struggling, and I'm glad that places like Michigan are really going the hemp forward route because it's helping the economy. Yeah, we work with a company in Michigan now that we're sending a lot of money out there and doing a lot of business with them, and these are good people who have not had the easiest go of it the last decade. Yeah, and it's like hemp can revitalize our economy and definitely provide a boost, and so can cannabis. It's like let's fucking go. Yeah, for the United States, let's go.
I just saw America. Illinois was the 11th state to legalize recreational.
Yep, I saw that
Illinois,
yesterday.
So I was like, dang, Chicago.
Yeah.
It's about to be crazy.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah. They just need to open the banking up for sure, because no one's going to... Dispensaries still pay their employees sometimes in cash and whatnot, and it's like, it's fucked. I mean, it's...
I have friends that work for cannabis companies, and they get paid in cash. It's a huge issue in my day job. I do cannabis sales, and so I'm going around to all the dispensaries in the Bay Area, much like you now. Yeah. And I sell them products. I work for a distributor, and a lot of the issues that we encounter are from the banking holdups. Dispensaries getting their bank shut down, so now they have to pay all their employees in cash, and then it creates an accounting nightmare to pay us, the supplier. Yeah. And it's just a shit show, and all they want to do is
it takes us longer to get anything done.
Yeah, it takes us long. It's harder. There's way more barriers, and we're already getting hit by a lot of taxes. It's just like, open it up. This is something that you guys as a state have deemed legal. As the 7th largest economy it's California. I mean, come on, let's open it up. I mean, but I'm sure the banks want to. They want to make money. They just need some direction from our federal government. So,
I agree. And it's funny you say open it up, but yeah, man, it's weird where it's going for sure, because it's legal, but yeah, there's still a lot of illegal parts to the business, like transportation, and it's just finicky. It's still not fully legal in a lot of ways. So
yeah, I mean, what California has done, they've made the black market stronger than ever.
100%.
Black market growers right now
we talk about this all the time,
smiling from ear to ear right now,
because them taxes are just bottlenecking the hell out of white market. I mean, it's sad.
And cannabis is the highest taxed industry, across the board. Yeah. Yep. What is it, like 37%?
Yep. Yeah.
What other do you know? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And so it's just a bummer, because if you are even mildly connected in any world, you can go get an eighth of really high quality cannabis for $40, not in a dispensary.
Correct.
Whereas that same eighth is going to cost you $65, $70 in a dispensary. So it's difficult. I think they need to bring the taxes down a little bit. I know there's been some measures and ballots proposed to do that. Some cities are working on just lowering their tax. But we need to draw some people out of that market because it's also dangerous. There's a lot of pesticides in black market cartridges, pesticides in black market flower. You don't really know what you're getting.
You have no idea what you're getting. And I mean, just like CBD, fucking black market, you're paying a cheaper price, but what does that price come with? You know, so you don't know what's coming with it, which is sad. So I want to bring it all the way back. How did you get started?
Yeah, so how did I get started? So I was going to UC Santa Cruz, and I was a personal trainer. I was going down the route of, you know, should I go get my physical therapy? Should I go to do my DPT?
Kinesiology?
Yeah, absolutely. Should I go to chiropractic college? And while I was a personal trainer, one of my clients ran a company called Pure Extracts.
Heard of them.
Yeah, so they're a big company, PX, P2. Now they're a vape company. You know, great people over there. And he was always like, dude, come work for me. Come work for me. So I started working for him in the Prop 215 days.
Wow.
And it was a great company, but Prop 215 is kind of a shit show. Yeah. So I was like, fuck, what am I doing? You know, there's driving around cash, and there's wax, and you're like, all right. And then from there, a girl from my high school is the VP of Plus Gummies.
Wow.
And she got kind of a contract position to build out a topical company called Dr. Kirkland Therapeutics.
Okay.
Which you may have seen, Dr. Kirkland's pain cream, and they were everywhere. And so I built them out in the Bay Area. I got hired to do director of sales for the Bay Area for them, and it was still Prop 215. So it provided me a really good landscape to meet all these buyers, go to all these dispensaries, just do sales. And from there, I started working for a distributor called Yerba Buena Logistics, and they carry a menu of like 10 different companies, and I do sales for them. I do brand acquisition, like I'll connect them with different brands, growers, so we can put that stuff on the menu and get it to the people.
Nice.
That's freaking cool.
Most important job of all, getting it to the people, because access is huge.
Why do you have such a passion for helping others? Like, why? Not a lot of people grow their business lane and they don't do it the right way. What inside you just makes you want to help other people and make sure they get clean?
Yeah, so I've gotten asked that before. I think what it is, and I would tell other people to do, especially if you're an entrepreneur, is have a source of stable income. I have a day job. I wake up early and I work till late in my day job. And that allows me to scale up a business with ethics. We're not panicked about we're not like, oh my God, we're not gonna be able to afford groceries. Let's release a 5 milligram product to gouge people and make some profits, because we need to. It's
working hard.
Yeah, we have a long-term goal here, and if we're needing to extract all the money immediately, we wouldn't be able to do this.
No.
So while I'd like to say I'm just like, oh, I'm so great, I just want to provide. Yeah, I do want to provide great stuff to people. I think it works, but I think there's more money in providing a product that works well. Long term, people recommend it. It grows organically way easier because of that. And yeah, that's the honest answer there. I don't have to pull money out of this thing. Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, get some money, get some income, and then develop your side project. You'll be way more successful.
Fuck yeah.
Well, and I think a big like pro and a huge differentiator with you is just like knowing the plant and knowing the product and using the product, because you do see a lot of larger corporations now, they have backing and millions of dollars from investors, but like in the end, they actually are losing money year over year because they're not doing it the right way. They don't know. Yep. You know, they don't even know the plant necessarily.
Yeah, and we see that in the dispensaries right now. They're hiring buyers sometimes who do not know cannabis at all. No. And their job is to buy cannabis for a shelf.
And they don't even smoke it.
They don't smoke it.
They don't smell it.
They can't look at it. They don't know what's good, and they get ripped off. And the consumer will go into that dispensary and they'll go, "What the fuck happened here? I'm gonna go next door." Yeah. Because that's the buyer who's gonna go, "Hey man, I like this Automate. Can we go spark one up? Need to see how it smokes." Sure. We'll go rolling up with you in the back. We'll smoke it. We'll see how it tastes. We'll see if the flavor holds all the way through the smoke. We'll see how the high is. And then he's going to put that eighth on the shelf. He's going to buy a bunch, and it's going to go. Happy. Yeah, customers happy. So It's definitely a problem I see within the industry, and the more you try to ostracize people that know cannabis, I mean, man, your company's in a struggle.
Yep.
You can't remove yourself from the plant.
Yeah.
It's just good for people to know and to really kind of like do their research on the brand and kind of see like what
They mean.
matters to you and
Yeah.
what they're about.
Yeah, exactly. Their mission statement and all that. Yeah, what
Yep.
they care about, truly. Is it the plant and the people, or is it money?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
that's kind of almost, there's
The
two sides. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. That's funny. What did you think about the Joe Rogan Wiz Khalifa?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I DM'd you that. I was like, dude,
Fuck yeah.
are you kidding me? You know, yeah, because back in the day, we would watch Wiz's like
Day to day.
his day to day, and we saw this guy get really famous and just super successful through his
Mhm.
hard work.
Mhm.
And that was super inspirational to me. I was like, man. And then obviously Rogan's just the
A G.
fucking man.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I was stoked when I saw that.
Yeah, dude. When you sent me that, I was like, what the? I cannot wait till this drops, dude. Yeah. So me and Ray were able to watch an hour of that last night, which is
Yeah.
really
Nice.
cool. So
Again, I mean, you it's hard work and obsession and being involved with something you're super passionate about, right? That's what he was doing.
hell yeah.
I think that's what all three of us right here are doing, and it just leads to success.
It does. It does. Hell yeah. Helping others, adding value to other people's lives, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
For sure. Is there anything you would like to say? The stage is yours. Anything about cannabis, CBD, the industry?
Where to find you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where to find me? So on Instagram, I'm at BRUH44, at BRU44, at Santa Cruz Medicinals on Instagram. DM us. I get back to everybody. So come holla at us. If you want to buy some of our products, scmedicinals.com. And DM me for a promo code. I'll get anybody from this podcast 10% off.
Fuck yeah, man.
You know,
Lit. Appreciate that.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
time.
of course. I'll
Big
make you
time.
guys a code, America's
yeah.
Podcast 10 or something.
Cool.
Love it.
DM. I'll post the code on the page after this.
We'll put down the show notes
And you would
as well.
say Instagram's probably always up to date too, because I know sometimes with this industry, like everything, you get deleted or things get,
Yep.
held up. So
Yeah, follow our backup SC Medicinal CBD for sure. But it's been Instagram released some stuff that they're not gonna go after CBD pages as much. Yeah,
Cool.
so it's been a little friendlier.
we're in the
but
clear
Yeah,
for now.
Yeah, for now.
Sort of. And then on the cannabis side of things, Yerba Buena Logistics. I mean, we distribute brands like Autumn Brands, Autumn Flower, Chill Vapes, Dip and Dabs. We distribute Sweet Relief Topicals, Awaken Topicals. So if you see any of those brands in a California shop, buy them. They're all great brands,
Hell
and
yeah.
that supports us as well. And get involved.
Fuck yeah.
Go vote.
Share your stories.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
How do you CBD?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hell yeah. How do you CDB? And at Santa Cruz Medicinals for that.
Hell yeah.
Brendan, we appreciate you big time, bro. This
Absolutely.
is awesome. There's so many knowledge bombs. People are going to eat this up. This is
love it.
huge. The CBD bubble, this is the legit real shit we're talking about. If you're trying to really learn CBD, this is the episode.
Yes, sir.
Dude, finally. I'm so glad we've done this.
Yes,
Heck
let's do
yeah.
it again. Let's do it again in a few months.
Let's
yeah,
do
I'd love
it.
to.
Fuck yeah.
Love to. Thanks, Brendan. Appreciate
on.
you.